Welcome back to Lisa's Library, where we read RPG horror stories and soon, alien conspiracies. I cannot wait! My debut is going to be October 31st, so Halloween will be the drop of the first episode of my monthly alien conspiracy, and we're starting where we should, Area 51. But today we're reading an RPG horror story, and it was given permission to be read by Bjorn Ali on Reddit. And they also are an amazing artist, and I'm gonna link their Instagram above me or somewhere on the screen. The Instagram name is dokidoki_same. Or Same. I don't know how it should actually be pronounced. But this one's probably going to be a doozy. It's an NSFW SA warning, okay? Another player tried to arm my character behind my back, and DM doesn't see the problem. This is really long, sorry. Also kind of rambly. I'm still pretty upset about it. I was playing a highly modified version of D&D with a party I met on Discord. How do people meet people on Discord, by the way? I've never been able to really meet anybody. I guess if you join, the groups, but we all watched Dungeon Meshi, wonder what that is, and wanted to play something including some of the rules they had in the game. Wait, is Dungeon Meshi, is that... I gotta look it up now. Delicious in Dungeon, that's a good one. I'm not used to hearing it called Dungeon Meshi. That's probably why I was like, what? But Delicious in Dungeon, I do like. We have not finished it because we were watching it when it was releasing, and me and my boyfriend do not like waiting a week for a new episode. The only one that I've done that with is Solo Leveling. But anyway, my character was a female kobold who was a bard, playing in a party of 5 players, including me. There are 2 women. I'm actually non-binary, but I was playing a female character, so there's that. I had this reoccurring gag where whenever my character goes to sing, it's a very skilled harmony with his lyre that is suddenly interrupted by a passionate howling. What? It's not much, but kind of silly when you are in the mood, and the party seemed to agree with me. Though, there was always this one player. His character was a high elf. Let's call him Jay. Jay always seemed to laugh a little too hard whenever I sang my little ditty. It was kind of weird sometimes, but we were all a bit awkward, so I didn't pay much attention. Jay's elf character was a bit... how should I put it? Generic? He played a lot into many common power fantasies. Liked by everyone, good at most things, barely any flaws, etc. Usually you gotta have one of those. Yeah. Still, wasn't too annoying. He seemed to have put actual thought into a backstory and didn't try to monopolize the game in any way. It took me until our 3rd session for me to notice he was constantly making his character interact with mine. At first I thought, maybe he was just trying to befriend me. Or maybe he just liked the way I played the kobold or something. But even the rest of the party started to comment on how he always went to talk to me first. He mostly played it nice, but later on started to avoid him, so I could talk to other players and NPCs that I wanted to, as well. That's when I noticed he started to make some comments about my character, as if he was flirting with it. And so I mostly played dumb to it. You see, I didn't intend to have my kobold get into any relationships. I mean, I wasn't opposed to it, but generally didn't want it to happen so soon, let alone with his character. But I also didn't want to make it weird, so I just played it like my kobold is a little too dense and disinterested, and it seemed like it had worked, at least at first. I always like those dense characters. The ones, I think it was in one of our sessions that I was running, my boyfriend's character, he usually plays a female, tabaxi type character. He had I think his character saw one of our friends' characters as like a hero or something, like had a crush on them, and you would be dropping like, oh, and you look sexy when you do that. And Sam, sorry, I said his name, but yeah, his friend would be like dense. Like, he made his character specifically dense. They talked about this beforehand, though. This was something that we talked about in session 0. This is something that they agreed on, which is something that's important. If you want to do something like that, get, an agreement together. Don't just start doing it. Until one day, I think it was our 5th session or something, we spent an extra 30 minutes or so talking to the DM about the future of the campaign. In that conversation, we talked about adding some more dark elements, since we had agreed to it in the beginning, but ended up getting caught on the comedy and mild drama. So, until that point, we've had only a few mentions and descriptions of gory deaths, and maybe a few hints at animal cruelty. Our plan was to finally introduce a mad mage type of character, human experiments, mind control, etc. Ours is currently a dark one. I'm doing one where it's a lot of different, pretty much, which I know my boyfriend listens to this, but he doesn't metagame. It's mainly the BBEG is like using these. He's actually like using contagions and stuff like that, and he's testing them on actual civilizations. So he's ruined a whole planet, he's taken over the Rock of Brawl, or is going to. That's something that the characters are hopefully gonna figure out how to fix. But like, that's like my main thing is disease, seeing body horror. I think I had an alien type in like, I don't think it's called an insect, but I pretty much used the Slod stat block. Right now we have an ice creature which is where they're like pretty much getting frozen and turned into monsters. But like, this is all the BBEG's plan. And so I tend to like the darker fantasy. That's just me though. But I don't ever do anything like SA or stuff like that. I make it dark fantasy, but not like that. That's just me. I don't enjoy that type of stuff. It's just not me. But anyways, in that day, Jay said he had an idea for the plot and wanted to talk to the DM in private. Uh-oh. A few days later, DM texted me. DM, so Jay and I talked about your idea, and I think it's okay since the party also agreed it could get a bit messier from here on. Is it okay to happen in the next session? Me, what idea? DM, Jay said you agreed to have your characters get freaky and stuff. What? What? Me, I didn't agree to that. DM, well, yeah, I can't get into many details because it would spoil some revelations, but Jay said you agreed his character could R-word the kobold. What? 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 Question mark, question mark. Yeah, that's what they put. Question mark, and what the hell? DM, didn't you two plan this out? Absolutely not. DM, I'll talk to him. What? Why would you be okay with another character R-wording your character? Okay. A few minutes later, DM came asking me again if I would be okay with this, and I said this conversation should have stopped on the second text. How did both of them plan this out without telling me until the last second? Who even does that? I went to text Jay and asked him why he did this, to which he said that I shouldn't be so upset since I set myself up for this by saying I don't have any hard limits. No. I tried to explain to him that it doesn't mean he can just do whatever he wants to my character without talking to me, let alone tell others I agreed to something I didn't even know about. In the end, I had to explain this to both DM and Jay, since DM didn't think it was an issue since he asked me before putting this in the story. Well, not really. Jay didn't. I I finally told DM that it's not about putting it into the story or not, it's the fact that Jay lied about having me agree to this and planning this behind my back. Also, it doesn't help that he chose to do that specifically after I stopped giving his character attention. It all just feels off. It took a while, but DM agreed it was not a good practice and simply told Jay not to do this again. I wasn't very happy with the results, but oh well, Jay said he wouldn't do it again. I doubt it, given his half-assed apology, but whatever. I still like the campaign and the rest of the party. What could go wrong? Oh, a lot, apparently. In the next session, the big surprise was that Jay's character was going to go through a bit of a villain arc. He left the party and was now working for the Mad Mage. Some level of mind control was implied, everything went well. The story was a bit too try-hard edgy, but nobody seemed to be taking it all too seriously. That is, until Jay's elf did try to SA my character. He kept trying to dance around the words to get the DM to describe it, but luckily he spoke to me first. DM asked me if it was okay to proceed, and I said obviously no, we talked about this before, but Jay insisted he wouldn't go all the way. At this point, I'm done with this. I asked the rest of the party what did they think of Jay's question, and everyone was very uncomfortable. I tell them that's exactly how I've been feeling with him, insisting on this with me for the last month. Finally, DM said the situation got too far and ended the session early. The party agreed to ban Jay, and finally I had some peace. It was a little awkward when we gathered again, but we did get along well, so it wasn't much of a problem. Oh my gosh. So, for one, good thing that he's gone. For two, that DM shouldn't have ever done that. Once the DM found out that you did not know about it, he should have just stopped there. Right there. No. And, oof. At least he's gone. I don't like how Jay tried multiple times. That's a definite red flag. That could mean that he won't take no for an answer in real life. But anyways, that's today's horror story. And before I go, I do want to let y'all know that I have opened a Patreon, and I will have it linked on the video, and it's going to be in line with the alien conspiracies, and so you guys would get, depending on your level, you could get videos a day early, you could get documents that are supposed to be like case files that are supposed to be pointing towards my Cayenne Lisa's backstory, along with, in those documents, there's going to be little hints towards her true name. So, little mystery, little conspiracy, little fun, and each of these files is going to be coming out the same day as the alien conspiracy, and it's going to be connected to it. Just a little fun thing I decided to do. Thought it'd be really fun to do. Anyways, don't forget to check out the Bjorn Ali's Instagram, dokidoki_same or same. And please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!